Hey guys, this is Alex with Team SodaKan, and today I would like to bring you my Three Musketeers deck list. Starting off with the eggs, I run 3 of the BT6 Sudamon and 2 of the BT3 Demimeramon. They're both just really good for drawing through your deck and then discarding whatever it is you want in the graveyard. Specifically with Three Musketeers, you're trying to load that up with your Three Musketeers and your 7 cost options. Getting into our rookies, I run 4 of the Soundbirdmon. This guy is really nice. He is my main rookie attacker. He has the when attacking ability of you can trash one of your option cards in your hand to gain a memory. So not only is that loading up your graveyard with those option cards that you need, but it also, gaining that extra memory, can keep it your turn. I know there's been a couple times where I've swung with him, gained the memory, gone up to 2, and then hit a hammer spark in the security, so that would have normally, swap turns on me, but since I gained that extra memory, it kept it my turn. The next one I run is the new Impmon. He is really good. I run a couple Beelsmon in this as well, and so the fact that he can also grab Beelsmon really helps with the surprise factor that I can kind of get with this deck a little bit. Then I run 4 of the new Goblinmon. He's alright. I just like him for the extra DP gain. In the future, I plan on swapping him out, but it'll be a while before I do that. And then I have the other Impmon. This is the on delete, trash the top 3. That's just, again, trying to get things into the graveyard for Beelstarmon's effect. So those are my rookies. And then we're going to get into the champions. I run the 4 Deputymon. Deputymon is really good. I know he's a 5-drop, which is a little pricey, but his effect is just too good not to drop him. I like dropping him within the first couple turns. That way you're getting that setup a lot easier. And the fact that he can digivolve into any of the Musketeers is really nice. And then I run the 4 Vilemon. This is my blocker for the deck. I like him because he's 6k, so he avoids a lot of those delete and reduce effects, and so it makes people have to use more resources to try to get rid of him, and you can bring him back off of some of the option cards that we have. So those are the champions. The only ultimates I run 2 of the new Rebellymon. Being able to trash something in your hand to give him blocker and retaliation is really nice, and then the fact that he can evolve off of either the Vilemon or the Deputymon if I really need him to comes in handy as well. And then since he also counts as black, I can, if I really need to in a pinch, I can evolve Gundramon on top of him as well. Getting into our megas, I do run the 1 Magnakidmon. I know a lot of lists out there don't bother with him, but the way I see it, he's another 3 Musketeer name. The extra security attack can come in handy every now and then, so I like to keep him in there just as a little bit of fodder. I run 3 of the Beelstarmon. I know a lot of lists run it at 4. I find that that gets a little clunky, and I see it plenty enough at 3. And then I run the 3 Gundramon. I really like his effects. The fact that he's a blocker really helps out well, especially with just stalling towards the early game, because you can get into him at turn 2. If you hard drop the Deputymon, then evolve into him next turn, then all of a sudden you've got an 11k blocker and your opponent still trying to set up. And then the last mega I run 2 of the Beelsmon. I really like this card. It's super easy to go into him. The fact that you can just warp on top of another Impmon, and then he's popping a level 4 or lower means you're taking out a lot of the blockers that are out there nowadays. And then he works really well with going into my level 7, the Millennium Mon. I like to quick warp Beelsmon on top of an Impmon, and then evolve the Beelsmon into the Millennium for that extra bounce. So usually I'm taking out a blocker and then getting rid of something that my opponent's put in a lot of effort and resources into building up. And then the fact that he will come back unless he's got no sources when he's deleted makes him an issue for a lot of decks to deal with. And then for my Tamers, I run 2 of the Sora and Mimi. Again, that's just for that extra draw power and the extra discard power. And then I also run 1 Izzy and Joe, again for that extra draw power. And then the fact that it's really easy to get his memory gain off of there, just because it's dependent on if my opponent's got 2 or more. At my locals in particular, we've got several different people that like to play really wide, so the Joe is almost always going to go off. And then getting into the options, I run 3 of the new Glaive Memory Boost. I really like Glaive Memory Boost, and the fact that I can just return any of my purple Digimon means that any of these pieces that I'm needing, I can grab it back to hand. Then I run 2 of the Nailbone. Nailbone's really nice. I just don't use it all that much compared to the others, if I'm being honest with you. Then I run 2 of the Gwalt Schwarmer. I really like this card. It's, deleting everything with a play cost of 7 or less can just completely wipe somebody's board, especially if you're going up against something like Rookie Rush. You still see Lord Nightmon every now and then that'll drop a whole bunch of stuff and try to go real wide, so it takes care of stuff like that really well. Then they play 2 of the Fly Bullet. I really like that as well, just because, getting rid of a problem mega or lower is really good. The only thing that this really doesn't touch will be Craniummon. So, and then the last one I do is the Happy Bullet Showering. I run 3 of this. This one is honestly probably the option I use the most, just because it deletes all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. And so depending on how well you've been controlling the game, that could be anything from just they've got the 1 stack built up, so you're just automatically taking that 1 stack up, or they've got a bunch of stuff that are 3 drops because they're going wide, and you're like, okay, well now they're all gone, and now your opponent can't build up anything. I've played a bunch with this deck, and it works really well. The only couple things I would change is, honestly, you could probably swap Nailbone for another Fly Bullet, and if you really wanted to tech in Zwarts instead of the Millenniums, you could. I've just found that the little bit of bounce with the Millennium helps you get rid of things, specifically like the Craniummon. We've done some testing with our friend group between this deck and the Black Royal Knights deck that likes to run Cranium a lot, and if you don't have the Millenniummon to bounce the Cranium, this deck just lags out and cannot get around Cranium because it protects itself. So that's why I like the Millennium, but I know a lot of people like the Zwart instead. So that's pretty much it for this deck. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section down below. Thank you and have a good day.